Well, welcome everyone to another installment of Career Services Discover Your Path Alumni video series. Today we're talking with Sabrina Dominguez, who's a 2018 Central grad. She studied business with a specialization in marketing, and she's currently working at D.R. Horton, America's largest home builders, and she is the West Region Digital Marketing Lead. Prior to that, she was a marketing intern for Data Science Dojo. And if you want to get in touch with Sabrina to ask her more questions, LinkedIn and email are her preferred ways that you get in touch with her, and we'll provide that information in the description. So again, welcome to you, Sabrina. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And I wanted to get into my first question, which is, how did you get your current job? And if there was any networking involved, please mention that. But basically, how did you go from college to career?
So in short, it was really diving into all of like the LinkedIn and Glassdoor and Indeed job postings and figuring out what keywords I should be searching for a job. So if you just type in marketing, you're going to get marketing specialist, marketing coordinator, assistant, director. And really the roles that I realized I should be applying for right out of college were marketing assistant and marketing coordinator. Those are like the more entry level. They're usually maybe mixed with a little kind of admin work, but that'll help, at least from the very beginning, help you filter the results that you're looking for. Because right out of college, you're probably not going to get the marketing director or marketing manager roles. You're looking for places to intern or just start out as an assistant. But marketing, it's important to understand that marketing coordinators or assistants mean very different things to every single company overall. Sometimes you may be asked to know a good amount of graphic design, and other times people think marketing coordinators just post on social media for us. So it's really diving into those job descriptions where I spent a lot of time looking at what I wanted to do. I didn't have much experience, so I was willing to take anyone that would get me experience and that didn't have an hour-plus commute, basically.
Right. Okay. So how would you describe your actual job to like a fifth grader? What is it that you do for D.R. Horton?
So D.R. Horton, we sell the most amount of new construction homes in the country by volume, and we have since 2001, or 2002. So I help them sell homes through email marketing, social media marketing, and I run a lot of promotions.
Okay. And so for your specific job, does a typical week or month or day look similar, or do you have periods where, like when you say you're working promotions, do you have like almost like marketing campaigns, so it depends where you're at in that particular campaign?
Yeah, so overall, our team as a region team, we help create collateral for 12 divisions across 5 different states. And essentially my week looks like Mondays. Because the construction industry, your leads are typically only good about 45 days. Everything turns around very quickly. So we look at every week as an individual unit. So every Monday I have meetings with division marketing managers and some sales managers, and we go over what communities are not selling or what communities are coming up, or if they have a new release of homes to sell. And we basically just game plan, okay, I need these emails or these billboards or this broker promotion. And then the rest of the week is spent creating it, sending edits back and forth, getting it through a legal review process, and then pushing it out to vendors and to prospects. So that's nitty gritty what I do on a week-to-week basis. And so it's very hectic. Turnaround time is very fast usually. And it's like a sprint from Monday to Friday.
All right. Okay. Well, when you were interviewing and then when you got your job, you maybe were then able to see what things are important and that employers are looking for. So what do you think some advice to students would be for things that they could be doing outside of the classroom to help them be competitive for jobs later?
So right now, as with everything, it's all focused on digital marketing, and digital marketing changes every single month. There's something new coming out, whether it's a new technology or a new practice. So when I was job searching, the best thing to do is you can go to places like HubSpot, where you can get free marketing certifications, whether that's an email, whether that's in HubSpot, or like in general, or whether that's in social media. And then you can also go on Google and get like a Google Analytics certification. You can get the advanced one. But really, those are the things that make you stand out right now.
Okay. And did you do some or all of those?
I did mostly all of those.
Okay, good.
And those are things you should be doing. Some of them only last, you're only certified for a year or two. And so I know right now in May, a lot of my certifications are about to expire. So I need to go back and re-get those.
Okay, very good. Do you have any idea why you got hired? I mean, in other words, what do you think employers, for the types of jobs that you were seeking, what are they looking for? And do you know what they liked about you and why they offered you the job? Because that could be valuable information for students hoping to follow in your footsteps.
When I was interviewing, it was really important to be able to have examples of work that you're doing. So coming right out of college, I had one small marketing internship with Gerald's, and I had a couple digital marketing classes under my belt. And that was all I had when I was job searching, like in the real world. And what it really came down to, if it's between you and another person that maybe has slightly more experience than you, when it comes to a marketing team, it's really how well they think you will fit into that culture. So if they're a high energy culture that's like, we have to turn around fast, like you can't really take the time to second guess yourself. We just have to push stuff out. You just have to be honest with yourself about, like, yes, that's a culture that I would thrive in, and that's a culture I want to be in. And it really comes down to who is hungry to learn and be better, I would say. And I think that's what they saw. I was very honest about what I knew, but I was very honest about what I didn't know. But I let them know what I was interested in and that there were areas I wanted to grow. And I would say, even though I was maybe underqualified for this job at first, they were willing to take a chance.
Right, very good. Well, congratulations, by the way, on being a person that they decided to hire. Yeah. So do you think that, well, I guess for students that are interested in working for D.R. Horton or in your general career field, like I guess digital marketing would be it, do you have any specific advice that you haven't given before about that? Basically anything else that you think is worth adding about going into that line of work?
So what I did and what I still recommend is I would become pretty active on checking LinkedIn, and I would follow kind of like market leader thoughts. So there's a blogger, Neil Patel, that I was introduced to in college, and he puts out blogs or how-to series about, or emails about current trends he's noticing. And this is all related to digital marketing. It's about search engine optimization. It's about search engine marketing. And he is very well versed in all of this, and he's considered a thought leader in that. So I would follow him, and any products he mentions or system, like marketing technology tools he mentions, I would just look into that. Because even if you don't have experience with MailChimp or like Marketo or HubSpot, you should know what they do and how they work, which is just a Google away anyways.
Okay. And then obviously the resume gets you the job, or the resume gets you the interview, and the interview gets you the job. So for your resume, when you were initially looking for work, do you have any resume tips for students?
Yes. If they ask for a cover letter, please make a cover letter. If they ask for it to be in PDF form when you send it in PDF form. And you should always put your name in the title of your resume. But I know this isn't fun to say, but I probably made or altered a resume for every single job I applied for.
Right. No,
because you have to tailor it to the keywords or what they're looking for.
Okay. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that you have some experience, you could stay at D.R. Horton as long as they want you and you want them, but you could also jump ship and go to another job. What are your thoughts on, I think the days of working for a big company, say Boeing, for 30 years, it's not that you can't do that anymore, but it's less common and people move around. So do you have any thoughts on how long you think it's good to stay in a position before you leave, or how to ask for more responsibility within your current organization so that you can challenge yourself and become better at what you do? So basically the whole job migration topic.
So what I would say is, if you're in a job where there's no room for growth and there's no opportunity for you to create like this niche for yourself to learn more, and if it's a culture you're not really interested in being a part of, then I would say if it's an internship, complete that internship. And if they offer you a full-time job, it's okay to leave. That's what happened at my first internship. It was a great learning experience, but I realized very quickly that, you know what, I don't think I want to be a part of a startup culture, because it was so crazy for me and it was hard for me to get into a really good rhythm for myself. And it was a lot of self-teaching that I necessarily didn't want at that stage of my career. So when they offered me a full-time job at the end of it, I declined because I realized maybe I don't want to work for a startup. I think I want to work for a more established company. And then I joined D.R. Horton, which is like the exact opposite of a startup culture. We're like a huge company. And I realized I like that stability and I like that structure. And there's a lot of safety in working for a big company as well. You know, you have like a true HR person to talk to about health benefits if you have questions. You don't have to figure that out on your own, you know? And so I've been at D.R. Horton for a year and a half, and I was promoted probably 6 months ago to my lead position, which is where I'm at now. And I'm still learning. So as long as I'm still learning and have areas where I can say, I want to take this on and improve in that, then I still want to be here. And so that's really what matters to me. Like, that's what's most important to me. And a short commute.
Yep. Yeah. Well, now that you have some experience, do you get any LinkedIn requests from competing companies saying, hey, are you interested in interviewing with us? Are you getting job offers because you are now getting into that window of young but have experience? And
So in the home building industry in particular, you'll find that all the people that have been here for years or decades, they've gone from home builder to home builder, maybe came back. And so it's very common. I have people reach out to me on LinkedIn and say, would you be interested in working for Pulte? Or which is one of our competitors, or would you be interested in working for a smaller builder like Richmond American Homes? And really, I mean, for me, this is like as top as it gets right now for like, we are the number one home builder in a lot of ways by volume, being one of them. So I would prefer to stay here and help us stay at that level. So usually I just respond back and I'm very cordial, but they're usually not jobs that I'm interested in.
Sure. But can you talk about the value of a relevant and current LinkedIn profile?
Yes, it is. That's one of the first things when we were hiring for a marketing coordinator to take my place. When I took on this role, that was one of the first things we were looking at when people applied, is if they had a LinkedIn and if it was up to date with a lot of their experiences. And it's also important to see how active they are in the marketing realm, because you can check to see if they're like what their activity is on LinkedIn, and you can see if they're following like the current marketing trends. And that's really important. In digital marketing, you have to care about what's changing, and it changes all the time. And even if you don't know the ins and outs of it, you should be able to say, oh, I heard that was a trend, or I read that was a trend.
Right. Okay. At Central, were you in the marketing club, or did you participate in any of their activities?
No, I actually didn't. I think I went to a couple meetings my senior year, but I wish I had gotten more involved sooner. I think they only met every few weeks at that time.
Okay. Yeah.
But I
Great.
honestly do regret not becoming a part of that.
Okay. Any other advice that we haven't, any topics we haven't covered, or any advice that you want to give that you feel is meaningful for students wondering how they're going to go from college to career?
I guess if they have any, like, if they have a network with some alumni or people or professors that can give them letters of recommendation, that's very helpful to have. So sometimes when I was following up on jobs, I would have my interview, and then a couple days later I would say, hi, it was great meeting you. Thank you for your time. I've also attached some personal like letters of recommendation that describe my experience and my work ethic. And they were always very appreciative of that. And when you go to interviews, you should bring that with you in case someone asks for copies of it.
All right. Okay. Very good. Well, Sabrina, it's been great. I really appreciate your time and your thoughts and all of your words of wisdom. And I look forward to staying in touch with you and seeing how your career progresses. So obviously keep your LinkedIn profile up to date, and we'll see how things go there. And hopefully students will reach out to you via email or LinkedIn, and they can ask their specific questions there. So thank you again so much, and have a great rest of your day and weekend.
And bye.
Yeah.